Hi, welcome to Data Structures and Algorithms series by Coding Ally. Coding Ally is a nonprofit organization where we believe women and gender minorities should have a safe space and support system where they can foster their skills and career in tech. I'm your host, Sue. In this video, I would like to go through this problem, 20 valid parentheses. So this is the agenda. First, I will go through the problem statement and then thought process behind, and then we will translate the pseudocode algorithm into a Java code. So let's have a look at the problem. So this is the problem. Given a string containing just the character, this, all of this, opening round bracket, closing, curly brace, opening, closing, square, opening and closing, determine if the input string is valid. An input string is valid if open brackets must be closed by the same type of brackets. That's the first step. Second, open brackets must be closed in the correct order. Every closed bracket has a corresponding open bracket or same type. So let's have a look at the example. In here, opening, closing. So that's valid. Opening, closing, they've got same opening, closing, opening, closing. So they are in the same correct order, and the open bracket are closed by the same type of bracket. So and then each closed bracket has a corresponding open bracket of the same type. So this is valid, but in here, open and close, it is different. So let's have a look at the problem, how we can, let's thought through how we can solve this problem. So for this problem, we can use the stack data structure. So this is one of the example where we have the problem where we can use the stack data structure. Stack data structure is first in, last in, first out, last in, first out, Leetcode data structure. So here I've got the stack. So first in, first out is queue, and last in, first out is stack. So in this problem, we are going to use stack to solve this problem. So this is the top of the stack. This is the bottom of the stack. First, I'm going to write the algorithm and then use the example to walk through. So for this, if the example here given is, let's say, if it is all the close, in here we only have 3 types. So if we see the character, so we are given the string. So if the character at the index is, if it is this or curly brace, then we are going to, so the strategy is we are going to push. So for all of that, we are going to push the corresponding closing bracket. So opening, closing round bracket, opening square, closing square, opening curly brace, closing curly brace into the stack. So this is our first step. So after we have done that, in the step 2, so in the step 2, we check. And there are two check that we have to use, to check. So the first one is that if the stack is, whether the stack is empty. So this is the first check. The second check is the item that we popped from the stack. So stack.pop, if it is, whether it is equal to or not to the item that at the current index, the character at the current index. So I will write current index character. So we have to do 2 check. If the stack is empty, then we are at the end of the string. And if they are not equal, then we don't have the corresponding closing parentheses. So in this case, then we can return true, we can return false. And 3 means we have finished the end of this string and given string, and we don't encounter any of these 2 checks. So that means that the string is a valid one. So in this case, we can return true if the stack is empty. So we can use one example to walk through. So let's say we use this example. So here, opening, closing, and then opening, closing. So we can use only these two. So now I will write 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the index. So I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm at index 1. I see this as per the strategy here. I'm going to push in the closing bracket. Okay, push it in. So next is this. Here I am neither of this opening, opening, opening. So now I have to do the check. So for the check, I am going to, the stack is empty. The stack is not empty, we've got that. So now we can pop it up. So we are going to compare. So here, and so when we pop it out this, and then currently we are at this index 1, and they are exactly the same. So they don't meet the criteria because they are exactly the same. So we will now move to the next index. So next, so now we have popped it out. So currently stack is empty. So next is we are here. So opening, according to the strategy, we are going to push in the closing. And after that, we are going to move the current, the iteration to here. So now we're here. The stack is empty, no? So now we can pop it out. So we pop it out here. So now the stack is going to become empty. So popped value is closing square, and then the current index is also square. They are exactly the same. So next, after that, we are going to move the index to here. And we are at the, so this is the condition. We have reached the condition, reached the end of this string array. So we finish the loop, and then stack is also empty. So as you can see here, so it is valid. So we can just simply return true. So this is the thought process behind. So now we can translate this into the code. So now we are using the stack data structure. So for that, we will need to initialize that. So first, I'm initializing stack data structure. In the stack, what I'm storing is the character. So I will just call it stack is equal to new stack in here, character, this. So now I have initialized this empty stack. In the empty stack, now I will go through this entire given string. So for that, I will use the loop. And then increment I. Okay, so now I can get the character. Let's say C is going to s.char at this particular index. So now we've got each individual, we are pointing to each individual character, and now we can do the check. If C, if it is equal to this step is going to be quite repetitive. So if it is round, then we are going, if it is round bracket, we are going to push into the stack and character C. So what I will do is I will do copy paste. And yeah. So I will say else if and else if. So now I have to change. And then here I'm going to do closing, opening square. And also in here, I'm doing opening curly brace. If there are, then we are going to push all of that into the stack. So next is they are not opening bracket. We get to the character where the character is the closing bracket. If there is the closing bracket, then what do we do? So in here, we have done the step 1. So now we are going to do the step 2. So for that, we have to check. First check is if the stack is empty. If it is empty, means we are at the end of the string, so it is not valid parentheses. Or we pop the stack out, so we are popping the top element from the stack. If it is not equal to the character at the current index, then that is not a valid parenthesis. So in this case, we can return false. So in here, we have done, in this case, in this example, we go through the example. and then we are at the end of the string, and then the stack is empty. So which is this case from line 4 to line 20, we finish the loop, and then now we can return it. So what we return is, we can return stack is empty. So if the stack is empty, then we will have the result should be true. So that true means that the string given is the valid parentheses. So now I'm going to run the code. Okay, false. So that means that I have made a mistake somewhere else. So let's find out where I have made the mistake. Okay, let's debug this. So first check. So I've initialized the stack. I'm going through the entire string character given length. If and then extract the character out, and then if C, if it is the character is equal to this round bracket, push that in. If it is this, and then okay, now I see the mistake. So I made the mistake in this step 1. The mistake, the strategy was, if I see the opening, I can't push this in. I'm pushing the opposite one. So instead of C, what I should have done is I should do this. So this is my mistake. So I made a mistake here and also here. So now I think this is strategy. Yes, we have done. We see the opening, we push the opposite closing. Opening, closing, opening, closing. Of course, otherwise, it's not going to be the same, because I'm pushing in the opening bracket. So when we pop it, it's not going to be the same. Therefore, I'm getting the false output. So now I'll run it. So that get accepted, and then let's submit it. Yeah. So in terms of the time complexity, I'm iterating through every single item, element, every single character in this string. So it will be O of n, and the space complexity is O of n as well, because we are using the stack data structure and to keep all of this. Worst case scenario, if we have all opening bracket, like for example, this is this, and then we don't have any of that, and then we have, let's say, like this, and then we have this. So by the end of this string, then everything is pushed into the stack. So therefore, in worst case, space complexity is O of n. So let's come back. So thanks for watching this video. Please follow us in our social media channels, and we have got fortnightly data structure and algorithm workshop where we practice interviewing to each other. So please check that out. Thanks for watching.